The problem with this view, which is very popular in certain circles, is that it is profoundly relativistic and ultimately nihilistic. It leaves you all alone with just a story. And there's something that's deep inside of all of us that tells us there's more than just a story going on here, and I want to know what it is.
Ticking clock, ticking clock, ticking clock. Everyone stop.
I don't know a goddamn thing about God, but nevertheless, it's all in your head FM. How do you like that?
Dr. Oslo Norway here. In order to counter the misguided persistence of the supernatural God concept, we have embedded It's All in Your Head FM inside show business itself, as an advanced jock trooper, single-handedly attempting to point out monotheism's cosmic misconceptions from here, inside media's herd of electronic sheep, where we can shear through the lip-serviced faith in unsupportable supernaturalism that forms the foundations of all present civilizations as we know them. It's All in Your Head FM is a philosophical radio club wielding the well-worn but seldom adopted theory that there actually is no God. No God as first imagined in polytheistic pantheons full of them, and no God as later boiled down to an unimaginably lonely oneness. But rather, that all such supernatural God concepts have been the confabulated personifications of organically operated spiritual impulses within us, and us alone. There is a universal need in our whole species to connect with something spiritual. This need has been along for the ride in every human brain as an innate and inescapable neurological function in this species for some time now. There's no getting rid of it. The function of spiritual inclination in human intelligence is probably as useful as it is mysterious. But the headite distinction of a supernatural God as a purely mental condition will probably continue to be contested by today's fundamentalist Homo sapiens every place we go, as this radio show tours apprehensively around the known world. Why? Because we boldly propose to rethink all their proprietary supernatural spirit hunts with a mighty righteous focus on common humanity, common sense, comparative mythology, epistemology, and the state of our neurological sciences. And this goes for anywhere we go, regardless of whose regional god we may find ourselves subjected to.
And we warn you, we must be doing something right, because our conversion rate, if you will, is high among almost all demographic groups within our broadcast areas. So we must caution that if you too choose to join the It's All in Your Head movement and become a headite yourself, well, don't expect open-minded throngs to beat a path to your newly trepanned doorway. Violent resistance to this kind of crazy talk can occur even in your own home. To eject the supernatural God concept, even if you're hanging on to a lot of the wisdom that is still found under that label, is to forsake society's accepted cultural glue. Getting your own head stuck on our more reasonable in-look may actually make others think that you are falling apart. No mental glue. Well, stuck all that, we haven't and you won't, because it's all in our heads, and your heads, FM.
It's All in Your Head FM.
Listen with me to the mighty wind that blows.
Let us have faith.
Look with me to high mountains capped with snow.
Let us have
Walk
faith.
with me in a forest where the wild beasts roam.
Let us have faith.
And then tell me again, there is no God. See with me all these many colored leaves.
Let us have faith.
Feel with me, spring's warm and gentle breeze.
Let us have faith.
Just behold the summer grove from underneath the sun.
Let us have faith.
And then tell me again, there is no God. And then tell me again, there is no
The researchers asked members of 3 Christian groups to say the same prayers for about 2/3 of the patients.
The findings show that prayer had no effect, but engineered bladders have worked well. The leakage problem improved, and most importantly, telling patients that someone is praying for them might increase their leakage problem.
I think statistic that people have come up with and from various points of view is that we're 1/4 conscious and 3/4 unconscious at all times.
That in order to really have a mature spiritual life, you have to move beyond God as the parent in the sky. I think it's almost inevitable that you start out there as a child because that is your model of an authority or a caregiver or providence. But I think if you're really going to become a thinking person of faith, you have to realize that that's a childish vision of God, the best you can do at a certain point, and then you have to move beyond that to something way different than your daddy.
Yes.
And how do you do that?
You feel it in your head. You feel it in your head. You feel it in your head.
We're 1/4 conscious and 3/4 unconscious at all times.
We all are in this cultural trance.
1/4 conscious and 3/4 unconscious at all times, and that both are functioning together in tandem with self-knowledge, without self-knowledge.
Isn't unconscious just another part of the brain that's operating? It's not some mystical
We're not
force.
just brains. No, it's not a mystical force, but it's unconscious. We can't know it in the same way.
But if you're going to be honest, it's not just reasoning your way to a position.
Well, how do you make sense of the other?
In reality, I think most of us arrive at most of our beliefs for non-rational reasons, and then we justify them with these reasons after the fact.
Well, as a psychiatrist, I think that we are primarily beings of feeling
Feeling is believing.
more than of thought.
In my brain, I feel like.
Feeling is believing.
In my brain, I feel like. God's just telling me. Buy
I think
this.
that
And you'll do that.
most of our decisions are made on the basis of what we feel instinctively.
Feeling is believing.